It was one of the most cameo-filled movies in history, where 45 different actors from both the MCU and the Fox universe returned for Deadpool and Wolverine. But one actor Ryan Reynolds asked to return for Deadpool and Wolverine was Robert Downey Jr., saying he wanted him to share a scene with Jon Favreau. Jon Favreau does actually have a very big scene in the movie Deadpool and Wolverine, but that scene was originally written with Robert Downey Jr. taking the main stage and Jon Favreau only being a small part of it. He even wrote the scene in 2018 just so it would make sense for Robert Downey Jr.'s character to be in there, because it does take place before the events of Avengers Infinity War. When Ryan Reynolds approached Robert Downey Jr. with the script, he said he was completely shocked he got an instant no. The reason was Robert Downey Jr. was already in talks to return as Dr. Doom, but he couldn't tell Ryan Reynolds. Robert Downey Jr., after a 5-year break, is returning to Marvel, but before he did that, he actually turned down Ryan Reynolds.
Alright, you guys, so Ryan Reynolds obviously has to be deported back to Canada.
Robert Downey Jr. is making his Marvel comeback after a 5-year hiatus, but before signing back on, he apparently turned down Ryan Reynolds. That's right, Ryan Reynolds, of all people. And you know what? Since Ryan is evidently about to be shipped back to Canada, maybe this is finally something that unites both sides of the political fence. Whether you're for or against mass deportations, we can all look at Ryan's alleged moral infractions against Justin Baldoni and label them nothing short of treason. So why did Robert Downey Jr. refuse to work with Ryan Reynolds?
Ryan Reynolds said he didn't know about that until it was revealed, but now is happy for him and said he wants to fight him in Secret War.
Apparently, Ryan and his wife Blake tried to trap RDJ the same way they allegedly cornered Justin Baldoni. The word on the street says Ryan wanted RDJ in a cameo, but Downey sensed the trap and noped out before things got dicey. And honestly, it looks like the recent exposures of Hollywood's so-called golden couple might have contributed to RDJ's decision. One after another, celebrities are lining up to add their take on Ryan and Blake's shady behavior. Even Martha Stewart made a revealing comment about Ryan.
We asked Built members what celebrities would be the most fun to hang out with.
He's probably on the list just because he covers himself up in his movies and you don't see his face. Ryan Reynolds, is he one of those? And you want to know something? He's not so funny in real life.
Really?
And with RDJ apparently siding with Justin, it's looking grim for Ryan and Blake. So what exactly did Robert say, and is he privy to info we haven't heard yet? Let's piece it together. According to fresh reports, Ryan originally planned to bring RDJ in for a cameo in Deadpool 3. Honestly, that made sense. There's no bigger name than Robert Downey Jr. Screenwriters Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick told the press they drafted a scene with both Happy Hogan and Tony Stark in mind. Ryan apparently went all out to sway RDJ, even giving him a personal reading of the cameo. But, plot twist, Downey refused. Ryan Reynolds had assembled a huge cameo list for Deadpool 3, which features Wolverine after Hugh Jackman came back from his supposed Logan retirement. Plan was jam-packed with appearances from both the MCU and Fox's X-Men universe. Ryan reportedly hoped to see RDJ share a scene with Jon Favreau. Script pages had been floating around since 2018, set before the events of Infinity War, allowing Tony Stark to still be alive in that timeline. But Ryan's big plan fell flat when RDJ declined, allegedly leaving Ryan stunned by the immediate no. One reason given was that Robert was already in the pipeline for a Dr. Doom role, although he couldn't tell Ryan that at the time. Ryan claims he only discovered that much later, congratulating RDJ and hoping to clash with him in Secret Wars. Screenwriter Wernick confirmed Ryan pushed hard, sent script pages, but had no idea about Downey's Marvel arrangement. Fans, however, are skeptical of that excuse. In the last few months, shocking details about Ryan Reynolds have come to light, revealing that maybe he's not the nice, wholesome guy he pretends to be. Skeptical? Candace Owens recently met a source who insists Ryan was the one who lit the fuse on this entire Blake versus Justin mess. Candace shared on her social media that a set insider claimed Ryan was the true problem.
If he wants to go after you, he infests himself into every area of your life. And he did this Justin Baldoni. He's like, who are your friends, okay? Who owns the production company? Who owns the next movie script? I am going to infest myself everywhere. I'm gonna be doing your movie premiere. I'm gonna be doing promos and making fun of you. Right? I'm gonna put myself in the end credits. Like, this is like psychotic behavior.
Candace Owens posted to her stories saying she spoke to a source that claims Ryan Reynolds is the problem. She said the tip came from someone who allegedly worked on the set and said lately everyone is bashing Blake Lively, but apparently the true villain of the saga is Ryan. This person is alleging that everything started when Ryan Reynolds decided to stroll onto the movie set one day and review the dailies. This is an industry term for all the footage that they filmed for the day. He also decided to take a look at the script, and between the two, something allegedly set him off. This person claims that the production assistants then overheard Ryan and Blake having an argument in her trailer. Ryan Ryan Reynolds started being on the set on a regular basis as if he were her chaperone, and that is when he started inserting himself into the actual production, including writing lines. And then she says the next part was alleged in their lawsuits that Ryan and Blake, perhaps in response to her husband's anger, began inserting themselves in the effort to change lines and change scenes. And of course, the allegation that Ryan Reynolds was making fun of Justin Baldoni in his movie when he played the character Nice Pool. And we did hear this, I believe, from Justin's lawsuit, but correct me if I'm wrong, but she also says that allegedly Ryan presented an ultimatum to WME, the biggest talent agency in Hollywood, whose client roster include everyone from Taylor Swift to Justin Baldoni. Basically saying that it's us or him. And again, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is what Justin Baldoni also alleged. And I think he said it happened either at the premiere of It Ends With Us or the premiere of Deadpool and Wolverine. Obviously, she says we know what happens next. He gets dropped by WME. Wayfarer Studios had effectively been instantly blackballed, persona non grata in Hollywood instantly, and truly they had done nothing wrong but cast a woman into one of their movies with an allegedly very jealous husband. My source says that Justin Baldoni is legitimately a good guy who truly wanted to do this project, but he cares deeply about women issues. And she goes on to give what she believes. She says, I think Blake was fine with everything in the movie she signed on for, hence not requesting an intimacy coordinator, and then all that changed the day her husband showed up on set and allegedly blew a fuse. She also believes that it was probably him that demanded Justin be put in the basement for the premiere.
With everything spiraling out of control when he strolled onto Blake's film set, reviewed the daily footage, and then got triggered by something in the script. A production assistant allegedly overheard Ryan and Blake bickering in her trailer, which led to Ryan hovering around the set non-stop, essentially rewriting lines and scenes at will. Candace claims this source told her that once Ryan Reynolds decided he hated Justin Baldoni, he forced an ultimatum on major players like WME, a huge talent agency representing names from Taylor Swift to Justin. He demanded that they pick between him and Justin. That matches details from Justin's lawsuit, which states Ryan and Blake allegedly tried to sabotage Justin's career behind the scenes, like making him sit in a basement during a film premiere. The lawsuit suggests that after a Deadpool/Wolverine premiere on July 22, 2024, Ryan apparently confronted a senior WME executive, slamming Baldoni and basically ordering them to cut ties. Strange because Ryan invited these folks to the event in the first place, raising eyebrows about his intentions. Candace went so far as to call Ryan's approach a case of deep infiltration. He allegedly inserts himself into every facet of someone's life when he decides they're on his bad side. And Candace isn't the only one spilling the tea. More high-profile voices are stepping forward now that half the truth is out. Martha Stewart, for instance, also dropped a not-so-subtle hint that Ryan isn't actually the comedic sweetheart everyone thinks he is.
We asked Built members what celebrities would be the most fun to hang out with.
He's probably on the list just because he covers himself up in his movies and you don't see his face. Ryan Reynolds, is he one of those? And you want to know something? He's not so funny in real life.
Really?
No, he's not so funny. He's very serious. No, Taylor, then I would do Snoop, and then I would take Ryan off it, and I would put in somebody else.
I'm so surprised that Ryan Reynolds isn't funny. This is like a shocker to me. I see him
he's
walking
a good
up
actor.
and down our
He can act
neighborhood
funny.
all the time.
He can act funny. But he isn't funny. Maybe he can get to be funny again.
I'm so disappointed, actually.
A lot of fans believe Martha was sending a coded message, that he's not simply dull in real life but also manipulative and controlling. And if you need further proof, look at how Ryan's former co-stars describe him. Morena Baccarin had a huge presence in the first Deadpool film but faded into the background in the sequel, and it supposedly has a lot to do with Ryan. She was diplomatic publicly, saying she wished she'd been more involved in Deadpool 2 but understood her character was central in an emotional sense. However, insider leaks revealed Ryan basically gave Morena the same treatment Justin Baldoni got, allegedly banning her from promotional events. She was almost set to have a bigger arc in the franchise, but Ryan fought it, leading to creative clashes with the director. Ultimately, Ryan prevailed, Morena was sidelined, and apparently that's why Tim Miller, the original Deadpool director, left the series.
Then I went and dug a little bit more, and the director of Deadpool, Tim Miller, did this interview and said that he left the Deadpool franchise because of Ryan Reynolds. He said it became clear that Ryan wanted to be in control of the franchise. You can work that way as a director quite successfully, but I can't. I don't mind having a debate, but if I can't win, I don't want to play. And I don't think you can negotiate every creative decision. There's too many to make. So Ryan's the face of the franchise, so if he decides that he wants to control it, then he's going to control it. Sounds familiar.
Yeah, it does.
He once told interviewers that Ryan insisted on total creative control, and Tim Miller didn't want to fight every single decision. Then there's TJ Miller, who portrayed Weasel in the first 2 Deadpool flicks but ended up drifting away. In 2022, he talked on Adam Carolla's show about how Ryan's on-set attitude was horrifically mean, even insulting him under the guise of staying in character. He kept saying stuff like, "You know what's great about you, Weasel? You're here just enough to provide exposition and then let the real film continue. I wouldn't come back for Deadpool 3, not even for twice the salary." He suspects that once Reynolds tasted huge success after the first Deadpool, he let it go to his head. He's a really insecure guy. He can act charming, but I think he thrives on undermining people. Everybody on set felt it. As for Blake Lively, she apparently mirrors Ryan's controlling vibe. Don't believe it? Consider Anna Kendrick. They co-starred in A Simple Favor back in 2018, and they're working again on its sequel. But fans are sure Anna wanted zero part of that.
Blake, what does it mean to be back with Anna? Oh, it's the best. I'm so happy. Anna, what does it mean to be working with Blake again? We've been talking about you all day. Oh my God. Come on! Get it in selfie mode!
When Anna was asked how she felt about reuniting with Blake, she basically dodged the question, which lines up with insider whispers that they don't get along. One insider claims the friction is more than just the new drama overshadowing them. It's also about how Blake tries to run the show. Anna's obviously the bigger star, but you wouldn't know it from the movie posters. Blake apparently insisted on top billing that visually overshadowed Anna's name, which lines up with consistent talk that Blake is just as controlling as her husband. At the end of the day, it's hardly surprising RDJ swerved this dynamic duo if that's really how they operate. The bigger question is how Ryan and Blake plan to recover, given all these damaging revelations. Is Ryan's alleged toxic streak really the reason Downey bailed on Deadpool 3? And can Hollywood's once-favorite couple bounce back from these non-stop scandals? Share your thoughts below, and while you're at it, don't miss our next video.